Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pet Pawcast today. I'm your host, Dr. Roberta Westbrook. Thank you for joining us at the Houston SPCA, the campus for all animals. So we have fun for you today. We are going to be giving you some tips and tricks to keep your pets engaged and enriched, and to make sure not only that they are physically healthy, but they are mentally healthy. So think of any questions that you have about enrichment and play for your pet, and hopefully we can get your pets onto a happy, fun life. I do want to introduce you to our wonderful guest today. His name is Boone. Boone is about a 2-year-old neutered male. Look how cute that is with the bone Catahoula. Hi, Boone. Boone is very, very smart. He is way ahead of dogs in his class already. He knows how to sit. Good job. And how to shake. Very good. Is he working on down? Do you know how to lie down? Oh, what a smart dog. Boone has a wonderful behavior. He's going to make someone a wonderful family dog. Boone does have one health condition known as heartworm disease, but we are going to get Boone treated. And if you adopt Boone, his treatment will be covered by VCA. And so, we've got all his health issues taken care of. We will make sure that if you adopt Boone into your family, that you've got everything you need to keep him healthy. He is just enjoying this today. All those belly rubs and toys. We've been spoiling him rotten. So come on down to our campus for all animals. Bring your family, bring your friends. We don't require appointments. So you can come on down and take a look at all of our adoptable pets. You can even go to HoustonSPCA.org and look at our adoptable pets before you get here. We have lots of dogs and cats, puppies, and kittens who are looking for their forever home, including guinea pigs and rabbits even. So go ahead and get your questions together, and we are going to be talking about enrichment for your pets. Enrichment is a huge part of the health of animals. So as veterinary professionals, we are not only concerned with the physical health of your pets. We really want to make sure that they are living happy lives as well, that they are getting mental stimulation. It is good for their life. So you can see Boone here. Boone is playing with one of our favorite toys that you've seen here on the Pet Pawcast. This is called a Snuffle Mat. It is one of the easiest ways that you can do a couple of things. Provide some treats for your pet, but also give them some mental stimulation. The way this Snuffle Mat works is that you can hide kibble inside that Snuffle Mat, and they can work and use their nose to sniff through the kind of folds in that mat and find the treats. And so they get rewarded for that. It's a really good way to, instead of just feeding food in a bowl or giving treat directly from your hand, this is a way to kind of slow down that process and stimulate other senses that your dog may be interested in. So Snuffle Mat is one of our important things. But enrichment, again, is just giving your pet the opportunity to experience life in a different way, to get the sights, the sounds, the smells that exist in their environment and become stimulated by that. They think through it, they learn from it, and it really helps to keep them healthy. So that is enrichment for your pets. And so again, it reduces some boredom related behaviors. It can help to stimulate brain growth. And so it can really keep them busy. Think about this. If you've been at home during COVID, if you've been at home and you have been spending a lot of time with your pet, and now you're going back to work, it's important that you provide some mental stimulation for your pet while he or she is at home now, because you're not there and they're going to be looking for you, and they could consider, directing their energy in other ways. You don't want them to direct that energy into eating the couch or getting into the trash can. So providing them opportunities to get treats in a fun way is good. For example, we've shown you our Moon with the Snuffle Mat, but we also, you guys are probably familiar with toys like this, like the Kong that you can get at your local pet store. You can put treats in that Kong, and this can keep some dogs busy for hours. For hours it can, where they are trying to work to get the treats out of this little hole, and it can be really fun and rewarding for them. So this is a good option. There's also food puzzles like you see here, where you can put treats in the little holes here, and your pet can work and use his or her paws and nose to move the pieces of this puzzle around to get to the treats. Again, very rewarding, very fun, can keep them busy for quite some time. So puzzle toys are a great option as well for enrichment.
We have our first question. Do cats need enrichment too?
Of course they do. So I know we tend to think of cats as pretty independent and, kind of isolated animals. They just sort of like to be on their own, but they want to learn too, and they can learn too. And they want to interact with you with puzzles as well. So playing with your cat, enrichment can be games. So those of you that have cats, you've probably used a pin light or like a laser pin and let your cat chase the laser around the house. That's a really good form of enrichment. It gives them exercise, and it lets them live out a part of their normal behavior, which is that prey activity. They want to try to catch. They want to try to catch that laser light. So laser light is important for cats. Or playing with a toy, a feather on the end of a long string. That is really important for cats as well. Giving them places to hide. So if you have, those of you that have cats know that one of the best toys that you can have for cats is a paper bag or like a box. That's it. You went to the grocery store, you got your groceries in a paper bag, put that paper bag in your living room for a minute or two. Your cat will have a ball for hours. That's enrichment. Cats love to do those things. And then challenge yourself to teach your cat tricks like how to come, how to do high five. They're capable of learning those things as well. Keeps them mentally sharp.
Can my cat be outdoors to explore?
Oh, that's a great question. Do you want your cat to be outdoors? So this might depend on the cat. So I would say the first time your cat goes outdoors, you may want to consider getting your cat a harness and fitting your cat with a harness, putting a leash on the harness, and maybe just exploring in your own backyard first, because you want to try to get an idea about whether your cat is going to run, be kind of scared of the environment and run. We don't want that. Whether your cat's going to be the type to try to climb a tree, or if your cat's going to be scared. And so you really want to make sure that if possible, that you can make sure that you are supervising your pet first. Okay. And so that's cats going indoor and outdoor. Try a leash first, but certainly getting them out in the yard and smelling those smells from outside can be a great thing for them.
I leave my dog at home for about 5 to 6 hours while at work. What is a safe enrichment I can leave my dog, if there's any, or for a big chore?
Yes, a big chore. So first time you're leaving your dog at home and you're wondering how they're going to do with chew toys, do it under supervision first, please. So even if you're going to give them something like a Kong or a puzzle toy, give that first while you're with them so that you can see how they handle it. But I would say a Kong that you can stuff with peanut butter or frozen treats is a really good thing that's safe to leave with your dog. But again, you want to know whether your dog is the type to chew this thing to bits and maybe ingest it, or whether they're the type to try to work very slowly and just meticulously get the treats out. So knowing your dog's behavior and whether he or she would just try to gobble this whole thing down is going to be important. But yes, a Kong is a good thing to try for a first option.
And what are the different food options that we can put inside a Kong?
Yes. So what can you put inside a Kong? The one that we have here, you can see has these little kind of hard bone-like treats. So you can fill it with this. They make smaller ones as well that you can fit in there. So those will fit nicely and they can bite off a little bit at a time. You can also fill it with peanut butter or Kong treat. They make their own kind of peanut butter and cheese that's safe for pets. You can fill it there. And then they have to work with their tongue to get it out. So it keeps them busier for a little bit longer. So there you go with the Kong treat. And there's all these similar toys, these puzzle toys with similar things where you can put treats in there. And as they roll this around on the ground and they play with it, the treats come out. So this is an option as well. And again, enrichment can be part of feeding. So if you're saying, I don't really have time, I don't have time to play with my dog or, or to take my dog to the park for an hour a day, enrichment can be given just including it in food time. So example, instead of using just a regular food bowl, consider getting an option like this where you can put your dog's regular meal inside of this tray, and it makes them have to work a little bit harder to get that kibble out. It slows them down. So it also is better for digestion because they're slowly eating the kibble as opposed to scooping it all up in big gulps and maybe causing some GI upset. This helps to slow that down. So little food puzzles like this can help as well.
And how often do we need to provide these activities or enrichment?
Enrichment really should be daily. I mean, we want to concentrate on mental health daily. And so if you can do some sort of enrichment a day, that doesn't mean that you have to go to the park for an hour or two. It could just mean providing a Kong, like we've talked about, feeding and a puzzle. Or if you do have time, I mean, this is fun. Those of you who have dogs have probably seen this. This is a really fun toy. You can play fetch with your dog this way. So you can put the little tennis ball in this handle. You can throw it. Your dog goes to retrieve the ball, or you retrieve the ball, and it kind of allows you to throw it very far. So something daily, and maybe once a week, getting out of the house, out of the neighborhood, going on a long walk. The sights and the smells of the environment can really be part of your pet's enrichment as well.
So is just taking the dog to the dog park considered enrichment?
Yes, taking your dog to the dog park can be considered enrichment. I would say, think about whether your dog enjoys going to the dog park. So if taking your dog to the dog park seems more stressful for your pet, if they hide in a corner, if they don't want to interact with the dogs, if they're so busy being attached to you that they're not really exploring their environment or getting to know other pets, maybe the dog park isn't the type of enrichment for your pet. But if your pet enjoys it, yes, what a wonderful time to let them just run free, meet some new friends, maybe take a little swim outside. Dog parks can be a wonderful source of enrichment for your pets.
What are some type of activities that are breed specific, like for a border collie or for a dog that likes to dig in their yard?
Yes. So if you have a dog that's used to having a job, right? So border collies and other herding type breeds are used to having a job. They're very, very smart. They're often used to protecting the herd. They're used in farms to help herd sheep and cattle and goats and keep them in line. And so they're very, very smart and capable of a lot of learning. And so I would say doing things like agility professionally or just for fun, training them to weave in and out of poles, to use seesaws, to go through tunnels. Those things are very, very fun for dogs that have that sort of skill and can help to sharpen those skills. If you have a dog, for example, that likes to dig in your backyard, and maybe they're digging holes in your backyard, you can provide enrichment and still give them that opportunity by having things like a sand pit or a dirt pit, where it's a specific location for them to carry out that behavior that they would naturally want to do anyway. So having that in your backyard for them is a really easy way to get them that enrichment.
My senior dog has difficulty moving or hearing. What's a good activity for her?
Yeah, so as dogs get older, they may not be able to play fetch or go on long walks, but still, these brain toys, putting food in a Kong, something that just requires them to relax and work a little bit at it is still really good. Letting them go outside or on short walks is still important. So if they are unable to see or they're unable to hear, there are still ways that they can use their senses for enrichment. So they still have taste, they still have smell. Those things can really help to stimulate the brain as well.
Are there any activities that I can do with my common household items or that I can do with stuff around the house?
Well, sure. How about using your ice tray? So if you still have ice trays, one thing that you can do to provide enrichment is to fill your ice tray with a few little treats. And this could be, dog treats. It can be slices of meat, like turkey or chicken, or, a banana, something that that your pet likes. Then fill the rest of the ice tray with water and then freeze it in your freezer just like you would regular ice cubes. And then periodically you can use those ice cubes as treats that that your pet can work on for several minutes as part of enrichment. It helps to get them working for their treat instead of just giving it directly.
How can I improve my daily walk around the neighborhood?
Oh, improving your daily walk. So vary your route. So if you're going on a walk and maybe you guys are used to going around the same block every day, it would be exciting for you and your pet if you took a different route every now and then. Get some new sights in, some new smells in, particularly if there's something on your normal route that triggers your pet in a negative way. I know sometimes when I walk my dog, there's always a fence that we walk by. And it seems like when we go by this fence, both my dog and the dog behind the fence sort of get a little bit anxious about it. It's kind of a tense moment in your walk where you're not sure how the pets are going to behave. And so sometimes I want to avoid that and go a different route because I want the walk to be very pleasant. So changing up that route can be a really good idea to improve your walks. And then if you're working on your New Year's resolution, if you're still sticking to that, which is exercising more, you can increase the distance that you go each week and get more exercise in.
What are some activities or crafts that my kids can make to help my dog?
Oh, this is fun too. It's a great thing to include your family in your pet's enrichment. So if you have things like a paper towel holder or a toilet paper holder, when it's done, these can be great enrichment toys, particularly for cats. They love to bat these around the floor. You can fill it with treats. They can bat it around the floor and the treats will come out. You can use this toilet paper holder and you can fill it with treats. So there's a bell in here. And so as they play with this, as your cat bats it around, it makes noise. That may be fun. But again, you can fill this with treats so that they can work to get those treats out. And as they play with it, the treats will fall out of the ends. And so you put your treats in here and you fold the ends of the toilet paper roll in. And now you have a nice little toy there. So you can do those. You can play with kind of rope toys. Now these you buy, you're not going to make those, but these are also things that you can buy at the store that will be very fun for your pets while they're at home.
There's a myth that if you let them tear up some stuff for enrichment, that encourages bad behavior, like then they're going to tear up your shoes or the couch.
Absolutely. I think it really is training them on what is appropriate for them to chew on. So if they are used to only expressing that chew behavior when they're playing with particular toys, which we will have to work on as parents to teach them what the appropriate chew toys are, they aren't likely to just start chewing on everything. So it's about structure. It's about making sure that they know what the appropriate toys are to chew on and where and what time that is appropriate. And that way, when it's inappropriate, they won't associate other items with chewing. So structure playtime, identify appropriate play items, and maybe even identify appropriate play space. And when your pet gets into the habit of using particular items at a particular time in a particular space, they're not likely to take that behavior to inappropriate things like your couch and your curtains.
That's perfect. Do you recommend daycare for most dogs?
Daycare is another great option. So if you can find a daycare that your pet enjoys, why not? I mean, who doesn't want to just hang out with their friends all day and play? I wish they had adult daycare. I would be there with all my friends and we'd be having a good time. So find a daycare that does a couple of things. They may give your pet a behavior evaluation first to determine whether he or she gets along with dogs and which types of dogs do they get along with. So they're going to find the right play group for your pet, and then they'll allow your pet to play with that group all day. Sometimes they have water games. Sometimes they also provide treats. And so it's a really good idea to consider daycare. And if it's not every day, even a couple of times a week does help to give your pet that mental stimulation that we're all looking for.
Do shelter pets get enrichment?
Yes, it's really important for shelter pets to get enrichment, and probably even more important because in the shelter environment, it's really an unsure environment for them. It's new for them. There's lots of other dogs, there's lots of other cats, there's new people. And so it can be a place that can be scary for some pets, but we want to make it as fun as and comfortable for them and comfortable for them as possible. So we have a wonderful team of volunteers. We have the most dedicated, loving, caring volunteers that I've ever worked with. They come, they walk our dogs, they play with them, they teach them how to sit, how to stay, how to walk on a leash appropriately. All of that is enrichment. We have opportunities for them to get toys like Kongs and treats and puzzle games. And so we absolutely try to give our dogs enrichment here as often as we can, but it's certainly important for shelter pets.
So how can someone volunteer to provide this enrichment for them?
Oh, we would love to have you. If you're interested in helping our pets have the best mental health possible, volunteer is the way to go. So you can go to HoustonSPCA.org and click on volunteer, and we will have opportunities for you to sign up as a volunteer, and you will be trained in a variety of areas of your interest, and you can be trained to work with cats or to work with dogs, and we would love to have you. Our volunteers are part of our family. We love to see them here every day, and we cannot do it without volunteers. We can't save the lives that we save without those of you in the community helping to partner with us to do this. It's very important. It's huge. The pets love it. We love it. And I think the volunteers love it as well. So, enrichment, what a fun time. Please take some time each day, 5 or 10 minutes, and do something fun with your pets to keep them mentally sharp, just like we would do for ourselves. And we'll live long, happy lives together. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Pet Pawcast. Please come on down to our Campus for All Animals. Take a look and see if you can find your forever pet. We will see you next week. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Roberta Westbrook. Come on down and meet our pets, and we'll see you next week.